Welcome back to the Talk Your Game podcast. It is Tuesday, early morning, um, but we were treated to a amazing Monday Night Football game last night. We're gonna go ahead and start off this podcast by breaking down the game, everything that was involved in it. We're gonna go ahead and talk about our power rankings, like we do every year or the last 2 years, and then we'll go ahead and finish it up by doing a preview of the week 2 matchups. Once again, we'll go ahead and keep a little record, and maybe at the end of the season we'll have another bet between Shahan and I. We'll disclose the information of that bet once we get to that.
I'd go for another
But
steak.
yeah, whatever. I don't care about you. But yeah,
Yep.
to make sure you guys heard our voice first thing in the morning. Wanted to break down a amazing Monday Night Football game. If you decided to leave and not watch the rest of the game, shame on you. Probably the most wholesome game we'll see all season. It had tragedy, it had excitement from the start that led to tragedy, led to a little lagginess in the middle, turnovers galore. We had overtime, we had a catch of the year possibly, and possibly maybe ending of the year. I don't know. Everything
Look,
you would want.
the script writers were on strike, but whoever wrote this one, they wrote an incredible one for Monday night. That's all I got to say. The script was great
Man,
for Monday night.
whoever wrote this wanted a promotion. They probably got a promotion.
Yeah.
A hell of a way to end week 1.
It was such a good game that we're both smoking bowls at Tuesday morning at like 7 a.m.
I don't care. Yeah. That game
All
was
right,
so stressful.
It was. So let's get into that game. If you missed it, Bills lose to the Jets in overtime, 22-16. I'm going to let Gev take over on the recap because there was so much to go through, and I just like hearing it all over again because I can play it back in my head and relive it all again. So Gev, take it away.
Yep. Obviously, a exciting game that we were all expecting to have, but I think we were treated to a different type of excitement than maybe that we thought we were going to get. I thought it was going to be a shootout. Honestly, I think I told you that ahead of time. I was hoping it was going to be a crazy shootout. We didn't get that. Obviously, first drive of the season for Aaron Rodgers, 4 plays into it, goes down. We've now, I guess, confirmed that it's a Achilles injury. More than likely probably out for the season.
Yep.
But you know what happens? Zach Wilson has to come in. He's the one that has to step up for his team.
Mm-hmm.
And right away, offense is just sputtering. Right, there's nothing happening. They're not able to drive the ball down the field. We actually go into half 13-3 for the Bills, but it kind of felt like the Bills were, even though they were up by 10, it's like they knew they could be up by more, right?
Well, they were like fumbling over themselves, right?
They were fumbling over themselves. Yeah, literally. Yeah. Josh Allen goes for a deep shot to Diggs, gets intercepted. There's going to be a name that you're going to be hearing a lot probably tonight, and his name ends with Whitehead.
Jordan Whitehead.
Yeah.
Incredible game for Jordan Whitehead. They said it all over the broadcast. He's never had more than 2 interceptions in the season. He had 3 in one night against Josh Allen. He was all over the field, and it looked like he was just playing mind games with Josh Allen the whole night. Great to see by Jordan Whitehead. An abysmal game, to be honest, in my opinion, by Josh Allen at the end of it. He had some nice throws. He had a sick touchdown throw that we saw that running towards the out of bounds to Diggs.
Yep.
But in terms of things like from carrying over from last year, especially in the playoffs, like he didn't play that great. And kudos to the Jets defense though. Quinnen Williams is a monster. And that guy just gets pressure up the middle every freaking play almost. And so everyone wanted to look at like Sauce and Diggs and that matchup and like all that stuff. Dude, I was just watching that Jets defensive line just wreak havoc on that Bills offensive line all night long. Great game by the Jets. And we didn't even get to talk about the way it ends with.
I was trying to get through the breakdown.
Oh, sorry. Okay, go ahead. I got too excited. That's why I had to let you take it.
No, like I said, we went into half 13-3. If it wasn't for a interception, it would have been probably at that point a lot worse. But defensively, the Jets held their own. They were able to actually go in and get a field goal on the board from the interception. And then the Bills' offense just sputtered. You know, they would have maybe a good play here or there, but consistently they were not able to get 3 downs. Like it wasn't like they were going for first and 10 and they were hitting a 25-yard bomb, right? It's literally they were going through first, second, third down. Third down, all of a sudden, sound tackling, an amazing secondary play was the key things for the Jets. That's how they kept them in check. Going into the second half, the Jets actually responded really well. I mean, we all kind of just sat there and just like, what are they going to? I think even Manning was just like, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't have an answer for you guys. This is actually really hilarious how upfront and honest he was.
He didn't even know Zach Wilson was the backup. Did you see that?
Yeah.
He's like,
literally no idea.
It's Zach Wilson. Like, okay. Continue. Yeah.
But yeah, second half, the Bills were only able to put up 3 points. But also in the second half, Josh Allen, 2 interceptions, one in the third, one in the fourth, and then a crazy fumble, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, bad snap.
Fumble, picked up, and refumble.
Yeah. Quinn Williams wrecks him.
I wonder how fantasy works on that. But regardless, just turnovers on turnovers for Josh Allen, not his best game. Honestly, the drive that he had to end the fourth quarter, that was the only time in the second half he was actually able to drive that ball down the field.
He looked like normal Josh Allen on that drive.
Yeah, but then overtime started, and 3 and out, or maybe it was 4 plays. I forget at this point. No, it was 3 and out. They weren't able to do anything, and then obviously we were treated to just almost a reminiscent of what who was it that did it for Deshaun Jackson for the Eagles, right?
Oh,
playing New York. Remember that game?
The Miracle
in Meadowlands. Similar of how that happened.
Yeah.
And a name for anyone that liked watching Hard Knocks is a great story to see the guy that got that final roster spot, Xavier Gipson, with a 65-yard punt return touchdown to end the game.
Such a cool
story.
I said,
this game had everything.
Such a cool story. Like everything. The drama with Rodgers, the veteran going down, everyone thinking he's going to come in and save this Jets season, to the backup coming in that everyone had issues with, for him to corral. And we didn't even get to talk about the Garrett Wilson catch. To see Garrett Wilson, Garrett Wilson to go to his go to his young quarterback and tell him, hey man, me and you, we got this. And then for him to trust him and throw that ball for a one-handed phenomenal, like we almost got catch of the year already. And this might be game of the year. Like there's so much more football to play, but this was just one of the best games. Great way to end week 1. I just can't stop. I went through my whole quarrels with the Bills. I'm going to talk about the Jets, and I want to talk about one person on the Jets, Robert Saleh.
Okay.
Phenomenal job.
Yeah,
phenomenal. This week 1 trend for me, guys, was head coaches. Robert Saleh, that's who you want as a head coach. Your star quarterback goes down. You go into the locker room. You're down. Everything looks abysmal like last year, and you corral that defense up because you know that defense is what you need to win this game.
Yeah.
And then you tell Zach Wilson that, hey, we trust you, bud. And even then, end of the game, he's like, bro, we trust you. Like we're gonna do this. I just loved everything Robert Saleh did. It was awesome head coaching job by him. And not to take anything away from, the Bills head coach. This is just a bad Josh Allen game, but Robert Saleh made it a bad Josh Allen game.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, we all knew going into this game that the Jets defense is what was going to carry them, right? And the offense was going to be complementary. But what happens is something that you and I have talked about a million times, is to be a championship caliber team. And I'm not saying whatsoever the Jets are going to be Super Bowl champions. We don't know.
We don't. No.
Yeah, they're probably realistically not. But that defense will put them in opportunities to win a decent amount of games. If Zach Wilson can have a simplified playbook where he just, does the bare minimum, or does his job, is probably the best way I can describe it. That run game they have, the way that Robert Saleh went ahead and leaned on that run game.
127 yards for Breece Hall. Killed it.
Yeah, Breece Hall, and then complimentary, you also had Dalvin Cook doing his thing.
Uh-huh.
They were both just, getting, 172 yards on the ground. Like, that's
chunks. Just get chunks.
Yeah, when you can't throw the ball, you better be able to, run the ball damn well. And they did. And what the craziest part too is, it's not like they were doing that and the Buffalo defense didn't know what they were doing. It was obvious, but they were still able to do it. So kudos to them. Kudos to their defensive line. Kudos to their secondary. I think we were treated to a great game Sunday Night Football with the Dallas secondary. But if you want to compare secondaries right now, like both secondaries are amazing, right? But I think the Jets have a slight advantage in the sense that if you have a little bit of an off game, they will be there. They will pick off ball. They are ball hawks. Even, if you looked at the stats, actually Sauce Gardner did not have a great game. First half, 4 for 4 completion started on for I think 56 yards. In the second half, I think he gave up another 60. So he didn't really have a great game.
He had to have a bend don't break game.
Defense isn't just Sauce Gardner. They've proven that now. It's all right. That whole secondary. If test one of us, cool, but don't test all of us. That'll be the biggest mistake you'll ever make. And that defense, that defense carried them this game. That defense put them in a position in the fourth quarter to win that game, and that's where we're at.
Yeah. Well, we could keep going about this game, but this was just Monday night. This wrapped up week 1, guys. Man, what a way to wrap up week 1. But we're going to move it along and go through the power rankings, or we want to
do power rankings? Let's go and do power rankings real quick.
Okay.
So we had to wait till this game completed to give our rankings. Shahan, if you want to go first, what we're doing is something a little interesting this year. Shahan's ranking is going to be more consistent week to week, right? It's going to be based off the previous week's ranking. It's going to be pretty tight unless a team really drops off. Mine's going to be more of a weekly change up. I think that'd be cool because you kind of get his perspective, you kind of get mine, and then we all don't think the same way, so I'm sure you viewers will have the same ideas. We'll go ahead and post once again our weekly rankings on social media. Would love to see everyone else's opinions on what we think, or maybe your own top 5. It'd be really cool to have a discussion on that.
Love to see.
So John, I'll let you go ahead and go off with yours.
Cool. So my power rankings don't really change that much. It's just a shuffle around of the top 5, and I get it. 3 out of the top 5 lost on mine, but I'm going to scratch it to week 1. I hate saying that, but sometimes you do really have to scratch it to week 1. So I'll kick it off. My number 1 is still the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not worried about them. Next week might change that, but as of right now, I'm not worried about them. They'll get Kelsey back. They'll be okay. They just signed Chris Jones back to a 1-year deal. I'm not worried about the Chiefs, and I think everyone basically feels the same way. Number 2, I still stick with Philly. They had a great start against New England, but showed some struggle there. But at the end of the day, they still won the game. They're still the NFC East champs, defending NFC East champs and NFC champs. Still a good team. Flat out, Philly's a good team. I'm a Cowboys fan saying that. But speaking of the Cowboys, I have them jumping up. They were number 5 on my power rankings. The performance they put out there on Sunday night, I get it. The offense didn't get to play that much, and I talked about it. But the way that defense played, they're jumping into number 3 in my power rankings, guys. And I had told a lot of people this. If this wants to be the hot take, I had told a lot of people this before the season started. I think the Cowboys finish at least 2nd in the NFC. So I'm pretty strong on the Cowboys this year. Yeah. So Cowboys at 3. We're gonna drop the Bills. The Bills are gonna stay at 4. I'm gonna keep them there, and then we're gonna drop the Bengals. And the only reason I kept the Bengals there at 5, I get it. I ripped into Zach Taylor in the last episode, but Rain, there were some situations there that you probably aren't going to play it all the time in conditions, and I give it a pass. Same with the Bills. I give Josh Allen a pass.
Yeah.
Week 1, you played a tough defense. You weren't in rhythm, whatever it was. Next week, that's after week 2, this might have a big change depending on how those teams perform, for sure.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. So like I said, my rankings are really just based per week at this point. Eventually as the season progresses, we all have to make considerations for, one-off games, stuff like that. But mine's just a complete shakeup from what was posted on social media. So I'll just go ahead and start. Number 1, I thought they had the most complete game out of any team this week. Welcome back, Brock Purdy. You did not fall off whatsoever from where you left off at. I have the 49ers as my number 1 team. Shanahan's offense is suitable for any quarterback. Brock Purdy is that quarterback. There's always that kind of worry that, okay, shoot, teams have a little bit of film on you now. They're going to know your tendencies, but he left off basically, or he picked up where he left off. They look great overall. Love the 49ers. Love Brandon Ayuk finally getting a shout out. Felt like it was 2019.
Dude,
So
love
good
that.
for him.
Yeah.
Number 2, actually have your Dallas Cowboys.
Ooh,
I don't think
higher
you
than
can
me.
put a 40-0 beat down on someone and not be put up pretty high in my rankings. Very good game by the Dallas Cowboys, especially Dallas Cowboys defense. We'll really get a test of that offense against the Jets next week. And I was actually kind of worried when Rodgers went down. Like, all right, cool, it's gonna be a blowout next week. But honestly, it could be a battle of defenses. We'll see. It could be a great game. All right. Number 3 in my rankings, I actually have the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, they technically lost, but I also am smart enough to realize Travis Kelce's not there. Chris Jones wasn't there. For some reason, the wide receivers' hands weren't there either throughout the entire team. It just was a bad overall performance, but to lose to a very good Lions team by 1 point, I'll put you down. They went from number 1 all the way down to number 3. That's fine. Number 4, putting in a complete performance, I thought Miami looked amazing. So I actually have them at number 4 right now. Tua is doing great things out there, beating a very good Chargers team. They deserve to be in the top 5. And then I finally round out my top 5 with the Cincinnati Bengals. That's probably more personal preference. All I know is the product that I saw on the field is not indicative of what we are going to see. I'm just going to chalk it up as a bad game. But the score looked far worse than what the actual score ended up being. So, yeah. But that could definitely, just like you, after week 2, there could be a lot of changes. There's no more that gimme pass or that hall pass that everyone's getting this week.
All that's going to be gone. I respect your list. I respect your power rankings because I do really like Miami. I really love the game Tua played. And I didn't post San Francisco when the season started. There's reasons for that. And we can get to it whenever we talk about a San Francisco game. But I do agree with San Francisco. They had a strong show out in week 1. They were knocking on my door for the top 5. Easily, I understand putting them in because I have some teams that I lost, but I'm going to stick to my guns. There's something about San Fran.
Cool. Something about them over there. We'll go ahead and post these power rankings. Like I said, here on Instagram. Like I said, please comment. Let us know what you guys think. It's called Talk Your Game, but I prefer it not be just me and Sean talking our game. We really want to have it. It's fun to have these discussions, right? Like we have these discussions on our couch with a bunch of people, but we love that audience to be even bigger, right? And that's the beauty of this football season is we're not all the same, and we all have different ways of looking at things. And maybe there is an insight that you have that may change my mind. That'd be cool, right? So go ahead. You'll see that here Tuesday, probably in the afternoon. I'll drop that for you guys. But next up, we're going to go ahead and look at week 2, give our predictions. And we'll keep a running tally throughout the season, see where we end up record-wise.
Absolutely.
Cool. Let me pull this up. Here we go. Thursday night, we are being treated to what I think is actually a fantastic Thursday night game. We have the Minnesota Vikings up against the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia.
I'm going to go Philly. Are we doing scores?
No.
Okay, thank God. I hate doing scores.
Yeah, scores are too difficult. I agree with you. I have Philly as well. Minnesota, I don't know. They kind of laid a goose egg
against Tampa.
Tampa. So I'm not really sure where. Like I said, it could just be week 1, but as of right now, Philly I think is still a very complete team playing at Lincoln Financial Field on a Thursday night. It's gonna be a rowdy environment, but I don't see Philly losing this one.
Yeah, I got you, Dad, too. Cool. Let's keep going.
All right, moving on to Sunday in the 12 o'clock slate. We have the Green Bay Packers up against the Atlanta Falcons.
Green Bay. And I think Atlanta will give them a fight, but I don't think Desmond Ridder is going to be able to throw against that Green Bay secondary. with Darnell Savage and Jair Alexander and all those guys. So I'm gonna go Green Bay, and I'm really impressed with Jordan Love so far. So I really like what Green Bay's doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I really do. I mean, I really do love Bijan Robinson. I think he's going to be a stud for that team. That's definitely going to be the way they're going to model their team around for the upcoming years. I just think they're still too raw right now.
Yeah.
What Green Bay did with Jordan Love is a concept that a lot of teams don't do. No one is willing to sit a rookie quarterback for X amount of years and then finally play him. They're taking a completely different approach. That paid off for them. The doubts I had going into week one are slightly alleviated for Jordan Love. But with everything they got going on, even with AJ Dillon running, pretty well. I know he's slightly banged up. I don't know if he'll be available this week, but
Aaron Jones will carry
it. I have Green Bay winning that one as well. So we're kind of locked up still, but that's okay. We have the Las Vegas Raiders up against the Buffalo Bills.
Give me Buffalo. Bounce back game. Nothing against the Raiders. Buffalo's going to have some hunger to them, and they're going to unleash it on the Raiders for sure. So pretty simple there.
Yeah, I'm looking for Davante Adams to be a little bit louder this week. Pretty quiet week for him, but I see Buffalo coming back home, first game of the year at home. Going to have a little chip on their shoulder. I'm sure offensively they're going to sit there and say, what we put up is not what you guys should expect from us. Hopefully Josh Allen stops taking these stupid risks that he keeps on taking. I have Buffalo as well.
Yeah.
All right. Moving off to a divisional game. We have the Buffalo Ravens. Oh my God, the Baltimore Ravens. What is going on with me? The Baltimore Ravens going to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Your Cincinnati Bengals, two tough matchups back to back, man. Division matchups.
That sucks.
Whoever did that
clearly isn't a fan of us.
Yeah, but that Baltimore rush game is a little that Baltimore rush game is a little dinged up with J.K. Dobbins obviously being out for the season. I'm going to go Cincinnati. I feel good. I know it's a tough game, but hopefully, weather permitted, they can throw the ball. That's all I can say. Weather permitted, they can throw the ball. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. My bias will show here. I'm going to go with the Bengals as well. Similar to the Buffalo Bills, I see a bounce back game for them. They're going to sit there and say, hopefully, they're going to sit there and say, look, we have the receivers to get this done. Putting up 3 points on the board is not who we are. That defense for Cincinnati, I didn't talk about it much in the previous podcast, but it's actually a very solid, very fast defense. So let's see if they can contain Lamar Jackson. He didn't really have a great week either, but let's see. Divisional matchups, you never know what you're going to get. But whenever it comes to division matchups, I tend to look at whoever the home team is. It's a slight advantage. And then we all know Joe Burrow. He's going to take any kind of chip on his shoulder, and he's just Joe Cool, right? He's not going to talk about it. He's just going to put work and action into it. So,
hell yeah.
Cincinnati is my pick. All right, moving on to a game of two teams I absolutely loved last season, who were my Cinderellas.
Are you torn apart?
I am, but I know this season I have to choose new ones. So right now I don't know who that is. We have the Seattle Seahawks at the Detroit Lions.
I shouldn't be taking this long, but I really want to say Seattle. Something in my gut just says Seattle.
Seattle, okay. Yeah, they had a rough week. They had a real rough outing. Not really what we expected out of them.
Yeah, the line looked bad. Geno was under pressure a lot. So
Geno, do you see that video of Geno screaming Aaron Donald coming at him?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Yeah. I get it, Geno, man. But yeah, I got Seattle.
Cool. I'm actually going to go. I think Detroit's going to run off that momentum they had last week, plus the extra 3 days of rest. I'm going to go ahead and give it to the Lions at home. Their fans deserve to have a welcome home victory. If you want to call it that.
I mean, if Seattle loses, I hope Hutch has a big game. Love that guy.
Yeah, definitely. All right. We got the LA Chargers going to the Tennessee Titans.
Chargers, and that's my bias. I'm just gonna say I'll root for the Chargers. I think Tennessee will give them a lot of fits, but I think the Chargers can pull one through. They have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Chargers as well. Tough loss against Miami, but as a team, like I said earlier in the previous podcast, as an offense, very well balanced. Tennessee, I think they're trying to work out who their running back. The fact that Derrick Henry's load has been cut in half is kind of concerning, but hey, that's the NFL. But yeah, I see the Chargers winning that one as well.
Yeah, for me, I know there's a Tennessee fan out there. Shout out Mo. Tennessee, if Ryan Tannehill can throw the ball, then Tennessee wins. That's how I see every Titans game. So
okay, yeah, fair enough. All right, moving on to the Chicago Bears going to the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Man, I really liked what Baker did in Tampa Bay. It wasn't the cleanest game, it wasn't the prettiest, but Baker's just fun to watch in my opinion. I don't know if that momentum's going to carry, and I'm really, really hating what Chicago's doing. You know, as much as I like Justin Fields and I'm I really want that success, I'm gonna go Tampa. I'm going with the coach, and I like what's going on in Tampa, and it's just good system to have.
Yeah. Tough one, man. I don't know. You know what? Shout out to Wase, man. You're my boy. I don't even really know you, but you're my boy now. I'm gonna go ahead with the Bears, hoping Fields has a bounce back game, and get Chicago what they thought they were gonna get week 1.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to honestly what I think maybe the game of the week. It is a playoff
my favorite matchup.
Playoff rematch, an amazing playoff game that we were treated to, actually. The Kansas City Chiefs going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is going to be a fun game.
I absolutely love it. The Jaguars were my team last year, my Cinderella story. They got me my steak. I'm going with the Jags.
Okay.
I have the Chiefs at number 1, so I hope they prove me wrong. I know I'm contradicting myself, but just the way it went, Jags just look better in my opinion.
Okay, so the return of Chris Jones is big. Travis Kelce, I think, is still, we won't know. It's probably till later on this week.
He's coming back. He's not gonna, even if he's like 70%, he'll play snaps now.
Even if he is 70%, it's still not 100%. And when you go up against Jacksonville, who can fire back at you, I'm actually, this is so weird to have Kansas City going 0-2, but I have Jacksonville as well. I think Jacksonville will have a little chip on their shoulder from that playoff game, and it's at home. So
Calvin Ridley is there. They have a number 1 receiver.
Games. Yeah.
But yeah, that's weird that we both like Kansas City in our power rankings, but we have Jacksonville winning. But we'll go with it. Let's go.
Well, that's a respect that we all now have for Jacksonville. So
yeah, for that sunshine. I like you.
All right, we got a divisional matchup in the Colts going over to the Texans to round out the 12 o'clock games.
Battle of the rookie QBs.
Yeah. Could be an interesting one.
I'm definitely going to watch it for that interest in seeing Richardson versus Stroud, but I just think the Colts are a better team, and I like Richardson a lot, so going with the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, I really love. Actually, both quarterbacks had a great debut. I'll fight you on that. I'll go with Houston. It's going to be at home. I'd love to see CJ Stroud get his first win at home. I'm only saying that just because I want to say it. I don't know if I could tell it, but I'm going to go to Houston.
Go with your gut, bud.
Yep. All right, moving on to the afternoon slate. We got the 49ers heading to a very short drive over to the LA Rams.
Do you just want to say it on 3? 1,
3, 2, 1, Niners.
Niners, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. The Rams had a very impressive week 1. I think we all forgot that Matthew Stafford is a very good quarterback, seeing that he got hurt very early.
Yes.
And the fact they were able to do what they did without Cooper Kupp, which was a big issue, equally as impressive.
Puka. Remember that? Puka.
That's going to be on whoever's in last place in any fantasy football league. You better pick him up tonight.
Whoever's not even last place. Whoever wants to win, pick up Puka.
Yeah,
PPR. He'll kill it. I love him.
But yeah, as impressive as the Rams were, the 49ers as of right now are the most complete team in the NFL.
I'm going to feel bad for Matthew Stafford having to go against that Niners defensive line. Like, I'm just going to, every hit he's going to take, I'm like, oh, sorry, dude. Yeah.
All right, moving on. We got the New York Giants going to the Arizona Cardinals.
This is the
trash bowl.
Who's the Cardinals?
I know it's early on in the season, but this is like the trash bowl right here.
Why am I forgetting the Cardinals quarterback? Dobbs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're giving Dobbs.
Yeah.
All right, New York, you gotta win this one. No offense to Arizona, but we all know Arizona is not competing for anything. So yeah, New York.
Arizona looked awful, and don't get me wrong, the Giants looked awful too. But I don't know, maybe it's like a phoenix rising from the ashes. You took your loss, and you're just gonna throw away that tape. Let's go ahead and give the Giants a shout out here. All right. All right.
Ooh.
Next game, big game. Big game that I didn't think was going to be a big game after the first quarter, but we got the New York Jets going up against your Dallas Cowboys. I'm sorry.
We'll go Cowboys. I don't know why I did that. That's the stupidest shit. But yeah, I'm gonna go Cowboys, guys. I mean, regardless of what the Jets defense did, and I know they're gonna be scary, we're all gonna shit our bricks when we watch Dak Prescott try to throw against that defense. It's Zach Wilson. And the guys we have to worry about are Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook. Of course, Garrett Wilson's there, but the fact that we have Stephon Gilmore now, I feel a lot more comfortable with Trayvon Diggs there. So Cowboys. It's going to be a hard fought game, though. Hard fought game.
100%. All right, moving on. Let's see. Oh shoot, I didn't even get my opinion. My bad. I apologize. I have my stupid phone going off. It's annoying the hell out of me right now.
I keep thinking it's mine, but thank you.
I have the Dallas Cowboys as well. As impressive as the Jets were, I still think you need to have something going for you offensively. I just didn't see enough of that, and I think it's going to be, as much as we all aren't really impressed with Dak, he has the weapons. He's able to drive the ball sometimes, and I think that's better than throwing the ball away or throwing the ball to the other team 3 times. Josh Allen.
Dak's still a Pro Bowl quarterback, so I mean,
whatever you want to call the Pro Bowl nowadays. Okay, so got the Cowboys. Moving on to the Washington Commanders, heading off to Mile High Stadium playing the Denver Broncos.
The Commanders won, right? Yeah, the Commanders beat Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Arizona? Yeah. Give me Denver. I don't hate what the Commanders are doing. Just think, Denver's a little bit better built of a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see Denver winning this one as well. I don't really know where I lie and how I feel about the Denver Broncos, but
neither do I. I trust Sean Payton. They didn't play terrible, but they didn't play great. Same with the Commanders. They didn't play terrible, they didn't play great. So just going with better roster, in my opinion.
Okay, fair enough. Let's see. And then finally rounding out the Sunday games, we have the Dolphins going to the Patriots. That's a little divisional game.
Yeah, division game. I'm gonna go against the curve. I'm going with New England. And that's a tough one to swallow for me because I like the way Miami's playing, but I'm just never going to count out Belichick. And the fact that he gave the Eagles the run for their money towards the end of that game, I think he can do something with Miami as well.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go against you on that one. I actually got the Dolphins winning this. It was super impressive what they did. And I see them maybe equally doing the same. I mean, Tyreek's going to get his touches. I think Tua is finally back to 100% as a quarterback. So it's going to be exciting to see that game. But I have Miami. All right, cool. We're going to move on to Monday, and we're being treated to 2 games.
Doubleheader
on Monday. I hate it, actually. One starts at 6:15, one starts at 7:15. So there's going to be an overlap, and that just, I don't know, man. Keep the primetime games primetime, right? It's not called primetime when you got 2 games going on at the same time. It's 2 games going at the same time. Anyways, whatever. That's my rant there. We got the New Orleans Saints going to the Carolina Panthers first.
I'm going to just plug myself. It wouldn't be a problem if you had 2 TVs. Just, Anyways.
I have 2 TVs.
Just not in the same room. I get it.
Whatever.
Anyways, we'll go with New Orleans. I think it's pretty given. Honestly, I wasn't a fan of Bryce Young's debut. watched it.
Yeah, 2 interceptions. It was rough.
It was rough, but he's a rookie. We're going to let it slide. Y'all know how I feel about starting a rookie QB. But Saints defense is nasty, and that's just going to ruin Bryce Young's evening there.
Yeah, I like New Orleans as well. I just don't have anything. Like, I have nothing towards Carolina. Like I don't. It's just it's a continue of the rebuild for me. More than likely, most games I probably will not choose throughout the season. So.
There's no like ill will. It's just you're a team that's it's the same thing with Arizona, right? There's like, hey, when you build your team up and you start being competitive again, maybe we'll change our minds about you. Yeah.
Okay, and then rounding out Monday night, we have a divisional game. Tough for Cleveland, tough for the Bengals, but they got the Cleveland's going up against Pittsburgh. It's in Pittsburgh.
Well, somebody really likes that matchup. They hearted it. Cleveland versus Pittsburgh. How do you feel about this game? It's your division rivals.
I don't care about my divisional rivals, but I'm gonna go ahead and choose Cleveland. I'm not sold on Pittsburgh, especially if Deontay Johnson's gonna be out possibly. You're really limited now to Pat Freiermuth and George Pickens. Najee Harris hasn't done much, and that's because their offensive line's trash. Cleveland, what they did to the Bengals was impressive. I think that defense is going to carry them as well. Now the question is, can Deshaun Watson do something? But I get it. You have Nick Chubb. You don't have to do a lot. So that's the reason. Nick Chubb's going to have another amazing game. Going to go with the Browns.
I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. And I get the reasoning why for Cleveland. But Pittsburgh defense still, regardless of what the Niners did to them, they still were in Brock Purdy's face. They still got pressured. TJ Watt is back. That defense looked great, in my opinion. And yeah, we'll see what happens with Deontay Johnson. They still have Allen Robinson and Calvin Austin III. That guy is electric. He was all over the field in that Pittsburgh game, and I think he still will be all over the field against Cleveland. So I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. I think that defense will give Deshaun Watson a run for his money.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Looks like we have a good amount of disagreements, so it'll be fun to track. But yeah, I think week 2, just the games that are on slate, we're going to have another great week of football. Look forward to the double Monday Night Football game, whatever. But starts off Thursday, like we said. This is week 2. It's going to be Minnesota and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm ready. I mean, I don't know how you go from this Monday Night Football game into Thursday night, but we only got a few days to get there.
I love it, though. Football came with it hit real hard on Sunday. Monday, it just kept going, and then we just have 2 days to go through, and then we're back at Thursday night, and I'm excited, man. Football season's back.
It's back, baby.
It's back. Yeah, we're back. Let's go. So that wraps up this episode of the Talk Your Game podcast. We'll be back here for you guys after the Sunday games, and we're going to keep it going all season long. Make sure to interact with us. Give us your what you guys think of your power rankings. Give us what you guys think of, game predictions, whatever it is. We want to hear it. Anything. And, we're here to talk football. Just like Kev said, it's just us dudes talking football like, hey, we'd sit with your friends and talk football. We're not going to sit there and, go deep down into the X's and O's. Just want to hang out and talk football with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it this morning. This has been the Talk Your Game podcast. I'm Shahan. That's Kev. We'll see you guys later.
Later.